Hi, Jeremy. Thanks for joining us today. By way of introduction, my name is Bryan Hartin. I'm the Executive VP of Sales and Marketing at Iridium, and I'm joined today by Brian Aziz. Brian is the VP of Satcom Solutions at Thales. And as you know, Thales and Iridium are the official communication partners for IMOCA, and we're really excited to be with you today. And let me start off by saying congratulations to you. I know you've been on quite the roll lately with your wins at the Vendée-Arctique, as well as the Défi Azimut. Those are two great accomplishments. And maybe you can just share with us, how did these races compare to each other in previous races that you've done before?
Hello, thank you, everybody. I'm very pleased to be with you. Vendée-Arctique is a brand new race. It was solo sailing from Brittany, France to the North Polar Circle, and then back to Azores, and finish in Vendée. It was an important race for us because it was the last big one before the Vendée Globe. So having a boat ready and having a good result in this race was really important for all the team. And then we had a period of standby for the boat, trying to check everything on it during the end of the summer. And then one last race last weekend on the Défi Azimut. It was offshore sailing, 40 hours. And it was a bit more tricky. I was not really leading the race until the end. And at the end, we had really light weather condition, and I managed to catch back the three leaders and finding a last option to finish first. Every race is different, and you have to find the way to go fast, but to manage to be clever until the end, and that's one important point in solo racing, because you have so many things to do on board, right. And sometimes you are so tired that at the end, you're a bit lost. And on these two races, at the end, I think maybe a bit more waken up than the other guys, and I managed to win it.
That's great. That's really impressive. I've done a little bit of research just on IMOCA since we became the official communications partner, and a little bit about yourself, but can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and, how you became a skipper, and kind of a little bit of insight into your journey?
Well, I'm doing this until I'm really young. I started studying with my parents, but it was only cruising around Brittany, France, and trying to find a sport that was okay for me. I tried a lot of things, but what I found into sailing in Optimist was already the challenge to be alone on the boat, on trying to succeed against the weather, against the other guys, and I think I never lost this passion of the challenge. Then after Optimist, I raced on Europe dinghy, and after cruise sailing offshore, and really quick I went to Figaro racing. I started it when I was 20 sorry. I won this race. I won the Solitaire de Figaro 3 times, and then winning the Solitaire, it opened me the doors of big boats, which was really my dreams, going around the world on such fantastic boats was a dream, and now it's reality. And well, I'm quite living a dream since since I'm young, and I'm really lucky.
That's great. I can tell you really enjoy it. And, you know, you're in a rough environment when you're out there. What's the most difficult challenge you faced when you're out at sea?
Well, you mean the most difficult challenge I face all the time, or one remember?
Yeah, what if there's one particular incident, or you know, that you can recall and share?
Well, it's never easy. In fact, offshore solo racing, it's a challenge every day. It's a matter of being okay yourself as a human, and it's a matter of let your boat being okay. So you have a lot of problems every day. So so it's difficult, but I think the bad memories it's often when other guys have big problems. You finally you manage your boat, you manage yourself, and you always worry when the other guys eat something or lose their boats. And so I have bad memories from Solitaire du Figaro of guys who fall overboard, and from the Vendée Globe when guys had to leave their boats and finish on the safety boat. So well, I never had such issues, so I think I hope it will never happen, but never know.
Yeah, well, we hope so too, Jérémie. You know, talking about these two specific races that you just won, besides the win, could you tell us, you know, what some of the highlights of those two races were? Something that really just sticks out in your memory about those two races?
Sorry, which races?
The Vendée-Arctique.
Yeah. Yes, the memory of the Vendée-Arctique is that it was really close. It was like match racing with Charlie Dalin and Thomas Rouillant from the beginning to the end, and it was like dinghy racing. So it was quite crazy. It was 10 days when you never slept. So so you.
How about the Défi Azimut?
Yeah, on Défi Azimut, maybe I was a bit tired after the Vendée-Arctique, so I think I slept a bit too much on the last night, so I lost places, but at the end of the morning it was quite okay. So I managed to finish first. So it's always a question of being committed and motivated, and being able to take the right decisions at the right moment.
And Jérémie, you mentioned some of the things that can happen while you're racing. I'm sure the last thing you want to worry about is not being able to get in touch and communicate with others. So did having reliable communications while you're in the race, does that give you some peace of mind while you're out there?
Well, yeah, it's sure. All the equipment we have with Thales and Iridium is top of top technology, and it's top of reliability. When you have a safety issue, you have to call the land, and it has to work. So we know that we have all the equipment to make it. So yeah, really important. And when you start a Vendée Globe and you know that you maybe will have issues and you will be alone during nearly 3 months, it has to work all the time. So for safety issues, and then for data connections too, for the weather forecasts, it's really important.
Yeah, so you just mentioned how critical communications are during your races, and obviously Thales and Iridium are proud to be the communication partners. But you mentioned weather. Were there any other specific applications or things that are very important or critical to your success while you're in the race that you've had to use, both our products for?
Well, weather forecast is number one, but communications is for medias, it's quite important too. For sure, we have sponsors and they need more and more images, more and more photos. So you need to have an equipment that make you be sure that you will deliver all the images you have to. And after Vendée Globe is quite long, so sometimes you need to talk to someone. You need to talk to your family. You need to talk to your friends. And when you are sure the communication will be okay, the sound will be nice, and you will recognize the voice of your kids. It's much better.
Yeah. So you mentioned, being in touch with friends and family at home. What types of applications do you use? Do you use things like Twitter or WhatsApp, or just curious?
I'm working with WhatsApp, and text or voice, it's working perfectly with Iridium. So I have a smartphone, and the connection is always open, and I can be reached by my kids or my family all time. I try not to call them during the night or all time, but it's working anyway. It's working when you want, so, and when you need, so it's perfect.
And Jeremy, we're all adjusting to here in the pandemic, but what impact did COVID-19 have on you and your team, both before and during these recent races?
Well, it didn't have such an impact during the quarantine in March and May because the boat was in the yard, so we had small details to finish on it, and we managed to let all the crew work on it in separated teams. So it was quite okay, and we were not late on launching the boat. After this, for Vendée-Arctique race, we had to do a small quarantine 5 days before the start of the race. So it was a bit special, but I'm happy to have done it, because it was a good trial before the Vendée Globe. Because for the Vendée Globe, we will have between 1 week and 2 weeks of isolation before the start. So I saw before the Arctic race that it was not that easy to be isolated from your team, from your boat 5 days before the start, because the morning of the start, you're a bit lost on your boat. You lost all the habits you have on board. So for the Vendée, it will not be a surprise for me, and I hope when I will start sailing on the 8th of November, I will still will be okay on the boat. I still will be able to sail it. After this, it will have consequences on the goodbyes. You will have to say to your family. It will not be the day of the start. It will be 15 days before. So it can be a bit hard, especially for the kids. But well, that's new. But we know it since quite a lot of time now, and we got organized for this. My kids are a bit old now, so they accept it, and they know that maybe it's the sacrifice to do to maybe winning the race, or at least be sure to be at the start.
That's great. And we're Thales and Iridium. We're really proud to be offering, you know, these critical communications to you and your teams. How do you think racing would be different if you didn't have this dependable means of communication?
Well, I know that racing is really different. Ocean racing is really different when you don't have the access of satellite communication. You can't reach you can't get any data information. You can't get any weather forecast. And sailing these boats, which are quite extreme, on which you are always on the edge at 30 knots, it won't be possible. On the last Vendée Globe, I had antennas issues, and it was like I didn't know how to make it. So it's this time is something we really cared about, and we need we have no excuse. We have to make it run, but I'm sure working with you, we will succeed in this goal.
Yeah, we're happy to certainly provide you guys with that. So on a different note, the Vendée-Arctique and the Vendée Globe are, you know, single-handed races. How do you mentally and physically prepare to be in a race boat for days or weeks on end by yourself? You know, what are your thoughts about how you prepare for the upcoming Vendée Globe? I'm just wondering what your routine is.
Well, first you have to forget the previous Vendée Globe, because it's always hard. But human beings are quite well done, and you always remember the good moments and forget the bad ones. After this, gym and physical preparation is something that is now quite normal, and that you do every day in a IMOCA program, like in a Volvo race program. So it's every day. When you're not sailing, you're going to the gym. And after this, these boats are really extreme, as I said, but you get used to everything. But you get used to everything, and you get used to speed, and you get used to noise. You get used to stress of danger. If you have time to train on your boat, if you have time to get to go to the limit with your boat. So we had 2 years with Charal to test it, and I raced a lot with the boat. I practiced a lot with the boat, so I got used to it, and now I think mentally I'm ready to make it.
And Jeremy, you know, you've got a lot of experience. You've had a lot of success. What advice would you have for future skippers?
Well, they have to believe that they can do it. It's not always a dream. As I said, I'm living my dream, so it can happen. And you start slow on slowly on small boats, and you can finish in sailing crazy boats like Charal. So believe in it, work hard, and it will happen.
That's great.
Yeah, sure. And well, we just want to thank you for your time and joining us, Jeremy. Thales and Iridium are really proud to be the official communications partner for IMOCA, and we wish you the best of luck on your upcoming Vendée Globe race.